long overdue for an update. Um, Today is technically June 4th. Yeah. Let me double check. But I'm pretty sure today is June 4th. And it's so crazy to think that Brax and I would have been 40 weeks this past Monday on the 1st. So that's really crazy. We wouldn't have gone to our due date. That was our due date at 40 weeks. We wouldn't have gone to 40 weeks. We would have gone at 39 weeks and 1 day, which would have put us for May 26th, so just last Tuesday. So it's even crazier to think that technically Brax should only be just a little over a week old, and instead he is almost now 6 weeks old. He'll be 6 weeks old tomorrow, June 5th, which just so happens to be my dad's birthday. So he is in the bassinet right here. We just had his wellness visit, and he's doing really good. He is now 8 pounds 9 ounces. As you can see right there, he is still on oxygen, and the machine, this is just to keep an eye on his heart rate and his O2 levels. However, we are now in the process of weaning him off of oxygen, and he is doing so good. When we left the NICU on May 4th, so actually today is a month since we left the NICU. That's crazy. Anyway, totally didn't realize that till just now. Anyway, when we left the NICU on May 4th, he was on 1/16 of flow for oxygen. And right now, he is on 1/32 when he is on oxygen. He went down to 1/32 about 2 weeks ago. We just slowly tampered him from 1/16 to 1/32. It was a slow, gradual, like weaning him from 1/16 to 30 seconds, but we did it, and now he's on 1/32. So now, per pediatrician, it is our goal to get him to go from, sorry, I know it's dark, 1/32 to none. His appointment was on Monday the 1st, and we left the pediatrician office. So we showed up on oxygen on his monitor. We left completely disconnected from everything. So we had to disconnect him from everything to get a good weight. And then our machine here decided to die because the battery is worthless. So we kind of just left him off oxygen for a little bit in the pediatrician's office, and then he let us go straight home on no oxygen. We got home, I immediately plugged the machine in because I was like, I don't know if I like this, like no oxygen. Luckily we live very close to the pediatrician office, so it wasn't like a huge deal. Got in, plugged everything in, hooked him back up, and he was satting right at like 99, 100 for the whole day. And then nighttime came, and he started dipping as he was sleeping in his bassinet here. And we have a playpen back there that he'll sleep in too. Then he'll also just sleep on my chest after we're done feeding and stuff. And he started dipping. He does really good in his car seat and when he's feeding throughout the day, even when he takes his naps throughout the day. So I'm not really sure why the nighttime is such a difference. The pediatrician just didn't really, I've called him, he's just like, I don't, just kind of one of those things, so unfortunately I did have to put him back on. But the first day he was off of it for almost 18 hours, and then the second day he was off of it for 9 hours, and then went back on from 3 to midnight. And then tonight he was off of it from 1 p.m. to about 1 a.m. So 12 hours. And then he's like I said, he is back on oxygen again. I don't know if I said this. Actually, I know I didn't because this all happened after I was discharged, and I haven't even uploaded any of the videos from when I was discharged. I made a video saying that I left the hospital and I was in a lot of pain, and I definitely was. It was horrific. It was just, I don't even have words. Anyway, so on May 1st, he had a hearing test. They did the newborn screening on him a couple days for the newborn screening, and he passed both ears for that one. And then I showed up one day, May 1st, to see him and spend time with him, feed him, and get an update on when he was going to be going home, because the nurse practitioner was kind of giving us a little bit of an estimation, so I wanted to know more about that. And he wasn't there, and so I was like, where's Brax? And they're like, oh, he's getting another hearing test done. And it was the ABR testing. I'm not gonna go into detail, but it's like through the brain and the brain stem. And so he came back and he failed in both ears for the ABR. And I had an instant panic run through me because of the fact that this ABR, from my research, is connected more to like the brain and the brain stem. And I was freaking out because like quietly to myself, panicking, not out loud to pretty much anybody, because of Briley. Briley had anencephaly, and so I was like, oh my gosh, what if this is like something that could be connected? And so they did reschedule his a retake of the ABR at a later date, and we weren't able to make that appointment because of COVID and just how everything is. Like, I couldn't take my 2 older boys. Tom couldn't take off work because he had just used all his leave for us, and so I unfortunately had no way to get to my appointment for Brax. So I rescheduled it for a time that I know Tom would be able to take off work, which was Monday the 1st, before his wellness child visit with his pediatrician. It was at 9 in the morning. It took about an hour long, and he passed in both ears pretty much immediately. So she's like, it could have just been fluid, it built up in his ears. It's pretty common, but he passed flying colors, so we're good. And I was like, oh my God, hallelujah. So it was a huge weight lifted off of my shoulders. And then also, I think I might have talked about that he has a heart murmur. In the NICU, he had 2 echoes done, and the first one showed that there was actually some blood that would like come back up through a chamber like it wasn't supposed to. So that's why they repeated it like a couple days later, and his second echo looked really good. The first echo, the cardiologist from primaries was even willing to still diagnose it as very mild. He was just a little concerned with the way the blood came back up through a chamber, and then the murmur sound was also because of a pinch in one of the vessels, and when the heart would pump, that's the murmur that we would hear, and it was the side that would go to the lungs or something. I'm not perfect at this. And so they repeated it, and the blood flow that was coming back up through the chamber was completely gone. And he still had the actual murmur of the pinching of the valve. But the cardiologist said that since there was a lot of improvement from the first one to the second one, he'd feel comfortable with us just going home. Obviously there was no surgery. There was no surgery needed from the first echo, but the cardiologist was just thinking, after getting discharged, like a day or 2 later, just going straight to primary so that he could actually get a good look at at his heart in person instead of just getting echoes sent to him, like from the hospital I delivered at to the hospital he works at. He wanted to actually see it and do it himself. But then the second one came back and it was better. And he was like, okay, I don't even need to worry about seeing him. It looks really good. It's really mild. I'm really confident it's something he's going to outgrow. But I still want to follow up with him and see him just to make sure that it does stay innocent in July or August. We haven't made that appointment yet because it's too far out and the schedule is not open for the hospital to make appointments that far out. But so it's going to be scheduled for end of July and August, somewhere in there. So let's just hopefully it stays improving. Hopefully it's gone. When we went to the pediatrician on Monday, before he even listened to Brax's heart, he asked about the murmur appointment. I told him they hadn't made it yet because of what I just said. And then he proceeded to listen to his heart and his lungs, and he didn't say anything about his murmur or anything like that. So I'm not really sure if like it's still there, and he just figured obviously we already know about the murmur, so he just didn't figure he needed to say anything about it. I guess the good point of that is that it doesn't sound worse and it doesn't sound bad, and so there was really no point in saying anything. I mean, I don't know, it's one of those like no news is good news kind of thing. I don't know. I even mentioned it to Tom. I was like, he didn't even say anything about his heart murmur when he actually listened to his heart, so I don't know about that. But yeah, he's doing really good. The boys absolutely love their brother. They're both a big help, but Bentley especially is a huge help. He loves to hold him, feed him. If he's crying and me and Tom are like busy, like cooking or cleaning or doing something, he will run over and give him his binky and hold his hand and just kind of like, like try to talk to him a little. He is so good. And I knew he would be. He was so excited to be a big brother when we had Briley, so a big brother again when we had Briley. So I'm really, really happy that he, is a little bit older, because he was only a year and a half older when we had Briley. So he didn't really comprehend anything. Now that he's 7, almost 7.5, he can comprehend a lot more. And, he's definitely way more excited than when he was just, 18 months old and now there's a baby and he's like, I don't know what that is. It sounds like somebody's gonna be waking up. His oxygen's not even in his nose. He's just chilling like right here. I'm just waiting to see if he's gonna wake up, and then I'll show you Mr. Man. But he's not looking like he's gonna wake up. His oxygen though is just really, I don't want it sitting on his, he's doing really good with where it's sitting. He's doing really good with where it's sitting. I don't know if you can see it. It says 92 right now. 95. There it goes. Back to 98. So yeah, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he's gonna try to wake up or I don't know. Hold on. Okay, so he's kind of just in and out. I think he's trying to wake up because he's hungry, because he hasn't ate in like 2 hours or 3 hours. So I was going through a lot of Brax's stuff, and in the bottom of a drawer in his stuff, I found this cute ass romper that I bought. I was like, we're having a girl. It's a girl. It's a girl. I know it's a girl. It's definitely not a girl. So now I have to figure out what I want to do with this, because not having any more babies ever, so I gotta figure out what I want to do with this. It still has a tag on it from where I bought it, so I don't know. I'm so sad that it's not, he wasn't a girl. Just because of the whole Bradley situation. I'm obviously very grateful that he's here, and I'm very excited to have another boy because I've had 2 boys. I'm really familiar with how boys are, but just one of those things. So yeah, cute romper. And then I found this onesie too, the same day that I bought this. Just tuck the tag in there. Okay, there we go. And I bought it for the very obvious reason that there is there's dragonflies, and the dragonflies that are on here, which is really funny because there's only 1, 2, 3 dragonflies on this onesie, and they are green dragonflies. And Riley has been signifying dragonflies pretty much since day 1. And I seen this and started crying, and I had to get it. So, and obviously that didn't happen because it says follow your dreams. So now I'm like really kind of upset that I totally have forgotten about these 2 very first purchases before we obviously knew what we were having. I think I was like 9-ish weeks or so when I bought this, and maybe even between 7 and 9 weeks when I bought this. So but yeah, this one, and then the cute little romper, and I love the designs of it. It's so freaking cute. And then the little tank top straps and flowers. I just love it. It's so cute. And I believe this is, what size is this? So it says newborn. The store tag says newborn, but sometimes they can get them mixed up. Yep, newborn, and it's from Oshkosh. So now I need to find a new home for these because, and it's so sad too because it's been so warm here in Utah the last couple of days. This would be perfect for a newborn baby girl right now. And everybody I know that literally just had a baby, because I knew so many people that were due right around the same time as me. Like, I had a plethora of girlfriends right now that are literally had a baby right before me, had a baby a week or 2 after me. There's even a girlfriend that just had a baby a couple days ago. Like, they're all boys. All of them. I do have one girlfriend that she lives in a different state as me. She's having a girl. So maybe I will send this to her because she's the only one I know having a girl right now. And she's due the end of this month. So maybe that's what I'll do. So anyway, so everything's been going good. I'm 6 weeks postpartum. I've been slowly getting back into the gym training, just kind of taking it slow, getting back into it, being smart about it, letting my body heal. I mean, this was my 4th C-section, but I also had a tubal this time, so that's a lot of what was different. But Brax, like, kind of ish, yes. And so I've been taking it really slow, letting my midwife know, and she's just like, just play it smart. If you hurt, don't do it. Don't go heavy. Kind of just work yourself into it. Wait till you're like at least 6 weeks to really do something heavy. So, hold on. Okay, so I had to feed him. He didn't finish his whole bottle. He only drank about almost 3 ounces, and he's back asleep again. And then he'll sleep for a little bit, a little tiny little cat nap, and then he'll want the last ounce when he wakes up. But so this is him. He is on oxygen right now, as you can tell. I need to put new stickers on his face because right now these ones are coming off. And when they start to do that, they don't want to hold his oxygen in place very well. Yeah, let me see if I can. Oh, I can't. Sweet. But then you see my fingers. This is him. He's got mittens on him right now just because you know how babies are. They like to attack their faces. So yeah, he's doing really good. As I was saying before, I'm, obviously back in the gym, getting things back together. I'm competing again in December. So yeah, got a lot of work to put in, and I'm trying to give myself enough time to get back to where I was, plus more than that. So we shall see, because tonight we did rack pulls and I worked up to a good amount of weight. I'm not going to say what it was because I don't need the hate, because people think that I'm rushing it and I'm not healing right and I'm not being smart, but it's definitely not like that. And the comments like that usually end up getting deleted and the person gets blocked, and I'm just not putting up with it because I'm not stupid. My midwife knows, and so yeah, I don't really care what you think. So yeah, but it was good. Tonight was really, really good. So hopefully now he is passed out, but he will not be passed out for long because he'll want the rest of his bottle. So hopefully we will get him to eat the last bit of his baba, and then going to bed myself because I am tired. We've proven. So yeah, that is my update. I'm not really sure what to update after this, so maybe we'll go back to vlogs about training and family, and I don't know. We'll see.